1 minute to post time, approaching the gate. Stay here, that's the post. Now they're moving into the gate. Open range.
Hello, Billy Ho here, and this is going to be just a quick recap review of the 148th running of Preakness Stakes from Baltimore, Maryland, Pimlico Race Course. Was a 7-horse field we had after the scratch of first mission. Highly anticipated 3 mile and a 16th test over a fast track. We did have a slight weather concern there. I was looking at the radar early, and it looked like a big storm was going to hit like right at post time, but then it just kind of lost steam and it was delayed. I don't know what it did after the race. If it rained at all much, it just kind of dissipated and petered out. So good news for us. We got the fair race and the fast, well, not so fast race as we thought we'd have, but we got a good race. So I appreciate everybody joining and all the new subscribers. Stay engaged. We still got Belmont. We're going to actually do a quick sort of preview for Belmont coming up. So stick around for that. And let's get into the race. All right. Well, this was the preview. I don't know if you got a chance to look at the article or not, but I'm probably going to go ahead and do one for the Belmont, but I just wanted to put this up here as a backdrop. So now we're going to get into the actual race itself. And as they're all in line at the gate, Mage went off as the favorite at 7-5, National Treasure 5-2. I was pretty spot on with that one. I thought Mage would be closer to even money or even 4-5. But it was actually hovering around 2-1 there for a while, and then it got bet down. But National Treasure did hop up to 5-2, and due to the scratch and only 7 horses, the rest of the field just kind of bunched up together. Even Chase the Chaos and Coffee with Chris actually went off at the longest odds, like 12-1. So people were just throwing money around trying to, I guess, beat the favorites, but that didn't work out. So basically, that after that, the break off to the break, and it went exactly like I'd hoped. Johnny Velasquez got National Treasure right out to the early lead. The blinkers seemed to make a big difference in the overall race, in my opinion. So he gets National Treasure out to the early lead. Then Coffee with Chris, per his usual style, is running up second. And then Blazing Sevens, and Mage was engaged early. It's not like Mage started way back or anything. So he was right up there with Blazing Sevens. And but then something happened with the pace. Johnny V was able to relax for a bit. Pretty pedestrian first quarter mile at nearly 24 seconds, just a little bit under 24. And then they still just kind of plodding along there and reached the half mile. As you'll see coming up here in just a second, they reached the half mile at 48.92, nearly 49 seconds half mile. If you remember the Kentucky Derby, I think they got sub 47 half mile for a longer race. I mean, they were really blistering it. But at that point in the race, I'm feeling pretty damn good about National Treasure leading this race with the pace and the other horses content not to press too hard, because I know Coffee with Chris is not gonna last. It's done this almost every race that I've watched. It gets out toward the lead and then just can't hold on. Blazing Sevens and Mage seem to content to chase. Heading around the back stretch is when Blazing Sevens here starts to begin to challenge for the lead. But by this time, National Treasure's got, plenty in the tank. So they hit the turn for home. And these two going head to head down the stretch, really great battle back and forth. And I thought Blazing Sevens was actually going to pass at one point, but National Treasure was not to be denied today. And then Mage coming in third just didn't. I mean, it was in position, but just didn't have the speed to catch these leaders after you have that kind of a pace. There's all kinds of speed down the stretch of this racetrack. So It was actually a bittersweet record-breaking eighth Preakness win for Bob Baffert because earlier that day he'd had a horse break down called Having a Meltdown, big stakes horse of his break down badly on the track, sent the jockey Luis Saez to the hospital, and the horse had to be euthanized on the track. Very unfortunate. It's always sad to see that happen to a horse. So anyway, um, so we got past that. And so basically, to explain how I arrived on my bets, I was just kind of watching the odds all day, and I actually wanted to see what was going to happen with the weather because I thought maybe there's a chance if this rain hits at 6 o'clock or something, and this track softens up or changes somehow, certain horses like Red Route One or whatever would move up. But it didn't happen, so I felt comfortable about the fast track. I really like National Treasure, and then they said a few things about it, National Treasure, that piqued my interest. That I wasn't really paying attention to early on in his training is he had a hoof injury that sidelined him for a bit. And then something I thought they mentioned something about lots of rain in California at the time. So he lost more time training. So he was a little bit behind in his development. So they had Bob Baffert felt really good. They had him where they wanted him now. The fourth place was a little bit better than I thought in Santa Anita Derby. He lacked a little running room late in that race, so was unable to keep up. So I arrived, and then 5-2. I thought that's pretty good. I'll take 5-2 on a win bet in a 7-horse field with a horse that I think is the best horse by far. Actually, Mage's running style is not gonna. This just was such a inside track bias, speed, and Mage just didn't have the pace set up for him. Actually, probably could have been closer. Coming down the stretch, definitely, if the pace would have been a little hotter. But anyway, so I get the win bet on National Treasure, and now I didn't know what to do with exactas or trifectas, and I decided to go against the trifecta because with such a small field, I thought it's going to be spreading too many horses, and the ticket's going to cost too much, and it may, if it comes in with National Treasure, Mage, and Blazing Sevens or something, the trifecta, I might lose money. Who knows? So I went with an exacta, and I went with the 1 and the 3 on top. I wanted to have Mage in there just in case he did pull it off. And then I had the underneath horses, and I wanted to include Blazing Sevens underneath, even though I'd kind of been poo-pooing on them. Just the results haven't looked good, very pedestrian. But they said they had him trained up, and I trust Chad Brown as a trainer. Always comes in with his horses ready off extended breaks. And it was a bit of an extended layoff. It wasn't like a big layoff, but it was from the Bluegrass Stakes. So it was like 6 weeks, I think, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood. So Blazing Sevens gave a valiant effort, and then got the second place finish. So that helped the exacta a little bit. It didn't pay a whole lot. It paid like $16 for a dollar, which is not bad for a $1 exacta when you have, the second and basically second and third choices win. But keeping Mage out of it helped a little bit. But anyway, is it too early to talk Belmont? Anybody? No? All right, then. Well, basically what's going on here is we're going to have a pretty star-studded field, I think. I think we're getting 2 fills. I'm pretty sure we're getting 2 fills. Angel of Empire, Tappet Trice, maybe Forte if the healings looking okay and everything. And I don't know about Mage and Blazing Sevens. Blazing Sevens might go because it had the long layoff in just that one race. So 3 weeks from now, it could be plenty ready. Mage has been running a lot, and then running off this 2 weeks layoff from the Derby might be a little bit pushing it for Mage, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Last year, I did the same thing. I think I'm going to use the same MO because I had the Preakness winner and the Belmont winner last year. Lucky for me. So I went with the horse in the Preakness early voting that skipped the Derby. So I did the same thing this year, National Treasure. And then I actually went with my favorite Derby horse at the time, Mo Donegal, in the Belmont. which was a deep closer and ran a valiant fourth, kind of similar to my horse Tappet Trice. So if things go that way, I think I'll probably lean Tappet Trice in the Belmont early on. But obviously, Two Phils is proven a quite the competitor, and Angel of Empire didn't quite fire in the Derby, but it was up there toward the end, just kind of late to the party. So anyway, we're gonna have lots more Belmont coverage. It's just too early to really speculate on who's in and who's out and whatnot. So I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope I know I enjoyed doing them and help me. Maybe it's something. This is my second year doing this content like this, and I've had some success. Not so much in the Derby. I got my butt kicked pretty good in the Kentucky Derby, but the Preakness Belmont last year, Preakness this year. So hopefully we can get Belmont. So stick around with me, and until the next video comes out, we will see you soon. Thanks for watching.